So both the ruling APC party and the National Opposition Coalition have been holding summits here in Abuja, both sides claiming to have boosted their chances of winning the presidential election in 2027. But take a closer look and you'll find gaping cracks in the ranks of the opposition amid all the talk about new strategic partnerships. The presence of both Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi, for instance, whose collective vote count in 2023 was almost double that of President Tinubu, has given them a psychological boost, though in reality many details remain to be agreed, such as whether Mr. Obi is laying his political stock with the new coalition or with his old, rather disunited Labour Party. And which of the two men will lead the opposition charge in 2027? Meanwhile, as more opposition politicians defect to the APC, steadily surrendering to the power of the ruling party, what do all these deals and all this confusion mean for the Obidient movement, which has so far remained resolute in its support for Peter Obi? Does anyone actually know what's going on, or are they just tinkering around the edges? Well, for more on this, I'm joined in the studio by the Interim National Coordinator of the Obidient movement worldwide, Dr. Yunusa Tanko. Great to see you again.
Thank you very much for having me, Charles. Good evening, Nigerians.
It feels like we had to drag you in here kicking and screaming.
Well, we are on the streets, actually.
Well, you're a busy man,
yes.
So we appreciate your being here.
Thank you so much.
Let's be clear and free from ambiguity on this issue of Peter Obi saying he'll contest the 2027 presidential election on the Labour Party platform, despite the fact that he's in talks with the promoters of this opposition national coalition that aims to collectively challenge the APC in 2027. Is this announcement all about political posturing as the different titans try to find their place within the new opposition coalition, or does it signal an irrevocable position that Mr. Obi has now taken as far as the race in 2027 is concerned?
Well, in politics, you either go on an alliance or coalition with like-minded persons, people who believe in what you are doing. And you either go with your party or you go alone. At the moment now, what you are seeing, individuals who believes in themselves, who believe that Nigeria needs to be rescued. And this rescue is hung on 5 points, which Mr. Peter Obi is serious about. The issue of hunger, the issue of security, the issue of education, the issue of economy, and the issue of ensuring that even in the international community, you are being viewed in the right direction. All of these are things that Mr. Peter Obi has been doing on a consistent level. You could see his movement. In fact, I wonder his nomadic nature. As he moves, sometimes you see him in Cambridge, you see him in Harvard, and then you are seeing him back in Abuja. You see him in Rome, and you see him on the streets, not flying, driving on the streets, to care about the people. He goes to Kaduna, Zamfara, Borno State, where there are issues that affect the common person on the streets. That's where you find him. And so he said, if there's going to be any coalition, especially what affects our people in the northern part of the country, you can all bear me witness. Even when there was in Taraba State, there was killing, massive killing. And these are things that concerns the Nigerian people. As of yesterday night in the evening, he was talking about what's going on? How can they be taxing people when people are in poverty level? How can they be doing this and all? His concern is about the people. So any coalition that's going to channel the energy of Nigerians in taking us out of this particular quagmire is what he's interested in. And he has already found a lot of friends who believe in that particular coalition.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the platform, because he has to have a platform.
That's what I'm saying. Now, for example,
in the middle of having discussions with the National Opposition Coalition, he suddenly tells us that he's going to be competing on the platform of the Labour Party. And it's caused a bit of confusion. So we need clarity on
Charles, if in your home, you have a home, probably you have some dispute, which is normal. just because you have a dispute, then you go outside and sleep outside. Can't you sleep in your home? You can come back and sleep in your home. So simply what was said was that I'm a Labour Party member, and he confirmed that. If today, at this point in time, there's going to be an election, I would run under Labour Party. Even if you are going to a coalition, you should go with your political party.
Did he say that if there's an election at this point?
Yes, that's what he said.
Because a lot of people are wondering what the main reason is and what the tangible benefit of this announcement
in the context of the
at this stage of the political maneuvering, what the benefit is.
In the context of the way the question was asked, it was asked vividly, you can play the video, and then he just said that I will contest under Labour. That is his party at the moment. So he cannot run away from his party because there is issues. In fact, those are some of the problems that we have in this country. So he said that he's going to run under his party. And it's strengthening him even if he's going to a coalition. And I'm glad they even mentioned some statement on that particular issue recently. So that is just the context in which he's saying.
Right, but what is his mindset in this coalition arrangement? I mean, because we need to get a sense of whether or not we're looking at, because a lot of things have been put out there. You know, one of them is that they're all going to metamorphose into a party called the ADC or the SDP or the formation of a brand new party. But either way, it's not going to be the Labour Party, nor is it going to be the PDP. So potentially speaking, he is preparing to metamorphose, to transmogrify into another party.
Before you go anywhere, you must have a backing where you are coming from. And he's coming from the Labour Party. Very clear. He did not deny that he's in a coalition. Coalition to save Nigeria and rescue Nigeria. It is very, very clear that this particular government has put democracy in danger. And people are coming out to say, no, we must work together to ensure that we rescue Nigeria from this particular situation.
Yes, I understand
and that's the fact.
But I'm trying to figure out what the terms of that working together are going to be, as far as Peter Obi, your principle is concerned.
Based on this particular issue that I mentioned, on a constant basis, he has already made it clear that he's not going to be in any coalition that does not talk about the issue of healthcare, education.
Yeah, I'm not talking about
those
those
are the
things.
things.
I understand that. And we all know that he's been very forthright and he's been very visible in terms of his opposition sort of work and his attempts to connect with the Nigerian people. What I'm saying is, what shape is his attempt to be part of that coalition going to take? Is he going to leave the Labour Party and become part of a new coalition if he's convinced that that is the vehicle via which they can put up a strident challenge in 2027?
Let me give you an analogy.
Yeah.
When you are going into an alliance or a coalition, you either go with your political party. The political party have not been talking yet, but individuals are talking to themselves. And the reasons why they are talking is very, very clear. And he is going there and say, look, when it comes to that particular period of time that we are going to choose a platform, that discussion will be made. But at this point in time, the discussion is based on the interests of the Nigerian people, which is more interesting to him.
So he's sussing people out and sussing the coalition out to see if they're on the same page with him.
That is the discussion, because there's a mutual understanding and agreement. You can see that he addressed the northern part of the country, large gathering.
Indeed.
Very interesting gathering.
It was. And I watched it.
Yes, and then he was able to say, ABC, the situation of Nigeria is gone beyond your expectation. If you measure our interests as regard to issue of agriculture, we could move Nigerians out of poverty. If you measure yourself into the issue, he been to Almajiri schools. You're talking about a Peter Obi who went to Almajiri school, even their toilet is helping them even building their homes where they stay. That is concern for the people. Not only that, he connects with the northern youth. At the moment now, he even helped in supporting some of their entrepreneurial programs. That is the idea of you trying to get people out of poverty. On a continuous basis, it's about the people. It's not about himself. So that makes him different. So anywhere there is a coalition interested in such a position, he is very much interested in it.
But I wonder how confident you are, and he is, that as he goes out to say that at this point he's got the Labour Party as his platform, whether the people in the Labour Party, which is riven with divisions, are actually going to be saying the same thing about
Probably
him.
that is the reason
The
why.
reason I say that, I don't mean to interrupt you,
Okay.
but the reason I say that is because you use the analogy of somebody, even if you're quarreling at home,
Yeah.
it's still your home.
Yeah.
And you don't want to go and sleep outside. But you don't, at the same time, want to invite people into your home. Because if it's a pretty bad fight, which it has been, and a fight that has gone on for a long time, you're not sure whether you're going to be able to bring people into the house and what kind of reception they're going to get.
You see, on a continuous basis, there are alignment and realignment. And even in political parties, there's always find a way you have an issue and then resolve it. And the resolution of political party can come within a certain seconds. And then if it goes well...
It certainly isn't coming within seconds.
It can come within seconds if you agree.
It's been going on for a long time.
Yes, you can have an issue going on for a long time. When you understand each other, you hear some people, I've seen here, some other person who thought that they were on the other side reconciling and then trying to say another different thing. I'm sure you interviewed them before. So it happens.
I suspect that it won't be that easy
Well,
with the mess the Labour Party is in.
Well, we are not praying for that. And then we are resolute on a continuous basis. You see, we don't want to be seen as if we are too being nomadic. But one thing we have resolved is that we need to work with people.
Right, okay. Well, let's leave the Labour Party aside for 1 minute. How much does it muddy the waters for the opposition national coalition in terms of the alliance that it is trying to build to challenge President Tinubu and the APC in 2027, that they're suddenly hearing from him? I mean, we're not hearing from anybody. We're not hearing from Atiku Abubakar or someone else saying, you know, hey, I'm flying the flag of, you see what I mean? I'm talking about the real prominent people in those places. I mean, doesn't it muddy the waters for the coalition? Because they're going to be thinking, well, what's going on here?
No, somebody
Where
has
does
to
he belong?
strengthen the alliance and discussions. And we have made it very clear. If we happen to be, or he happened to be, the voice of the opposition, which the governor of Bauchi State has alluded to, it's fine. But you need somebody who shall be on a constant basis. Since 2023 general election, there have not been one single politician that have been very, very vociferous and staying constantly on the opposition as Mr. Peter Obi has done. If there's anyone, please show me. The only thing is that, even as we speak right now, the way it is going, there's no one single politician or presidential candidate that can tell you that in his region he can give you the M block vote from that. Peter Obi is one. So that makes him the lead, most likely the most wanted or needed.
Well, that's an ambitious statement to make.
Yeah,
given the fact that you've got a whole slew of political parties in the southeast at the moment.
At the moment now, if you are doing your calculation, you will see that Peter Obi has already a block vote from the southeast.
Well, I mean, what we need are statistics.
Well,
that's the modern way of doing it.
Statistics is very clear.
Anybody can come out and say they've got the block vote. I mean, the PDP can come out and say they've got the block vote.
Probably if Charles now become INEC chairman today and we conduct election, you will see the facts. But anyway, what I'm trying to point out is that he has been on the front burner of opposition. And he has not desist from that. On a continuous basis, not only that, physically, he has moved from issue of probably you see him on social media. No. Physically, he's on ground.
Yeah.
And so therefore...
And I can attest to the fact that I have seen him, and a lot of people have seen him.
And those are the things that are missing in our politics. Always it's about the issue of power. But he's saying, look, it's about the issue of people. The people are the ones that we should be concerned about.
But you know, that issue of the Labour Party, and I don't mean to beat that horse, which is already probably half dead, beat it even further. But that issue of the crisis in the Labour Party is something that dogs Mr. Peter Obi, because a lot of people keep saying over and over again, and people who have no political affiliation or no political, I mean, you know, they're not leaning one way or the other. I mean, they keep saying, if you can't resolve the problem in your party, on what basis should we be confident that you will do the same? Now he's got into the coalition, and now he's been in there for a bit, and then he comes out again and says, oh, I'm with Labour, whilst he's having a discussion with the coalition. I mean, I wonder to what extent extent that announcement sullies his overarching objective, which is to become president of Nigeria? I mean, does it limit his chances of achieving that?
I wonder if it was on the reverse position where people saw him leaving the party and making any kind of derogatory statement about the party. That's one thing that is distinct about Peter Obi. You've never seen him calling names, accusing or abusing people. He only talk on issues. And that's a distinction between the politicians that you know of and me. I've been in politics since I was in secondary school. Yes, some people may challenge me, but I have been. And I've never seen a gentleman who give distinctly into a democratic setting like Peter Obi has been able to do. And that is the reason why, at the moment now, instead of you being all fighting, all dagger drums and all, he still maintained that he is a member of the Labour Party. And that is democratic.
And is
that is clear democracy. And at the same time, when he moves, if he's moving, and he has already made concerted effort in solving the problem, and he had never said that there was no problem. That's the decency.
No, but you know, the difference is not so much that he said that he's a member of the Labour Party.
Yes.
He said he's going to run
and
on the platform of the Labour Party. And I'm wondering if that announcement is endorsed by the various factions of the Labour Party, which are very divided. I mean, it's a very divided party at the moment.
And the question I will always want to ask you, or any other person, had any one of the factions that you mentioned said no to Peter Obi? Everybody wants him.
Well, I mean, I'm asking you because
I'm giving you a confirmed statement. Everybody wants him, and not because he's Peter Obi, no, because of the messages that he has. The messages resonate with the Nigerian people, and they want him not because of it. They want him because he has the capacity to change the dynamics of Nigeria.
Does Julius Abure say he wants him?
Has he denied that he doesn't want him?
No, I'm asking you.
He has never denied anything. I've never seen him anywhere.
I'm wondering whether he's do all those
I have never seen any one of them saying they don't want
Arabambi and all the rest of them. Do they all sort of
even Arabambi that you mentioned said that Peter Obi is one of the best candidates. You can play your tips.
What about the wider Obidient movement? Do they endorse him contesting on the platform of a very confusingly divided Labour Party, or possibly on the platform of another party? You're their national coordinator. Yeah. You must know.
Our people are interested in good governance, and they see Peter Obi as the leading light. And anywhere he goes, they follow him. And they are so determined in that regard. And so they give guides as regard to how they feel he should run, and he listened to them. So as we speak today, the Obidient movement is solidly 110% behind Peter Obi.
No, I know they are behind him.
Yes.
But behind him in what regard?
In anywhere he decides to go.
So if he says that he's going to leave the party, the Labour Party...
It's a resolution that we made.
No, I'm asking you, if he says he's going to leave the Labour Party...
I said it's a resolution. Anywhere he said is going, the Obidient movement would be with him.
Right, okay. As a bloc.
Yes.
Right. So if he says he's going to leave the Labour Party and go and contest maybe on the platform of the SDP or the ADC or some other new party, they will support him.
Charles, Peter Obi is the leader of the Obidient movement.
Right.
And the Obidient movement have made categorical statements. Anywhere our leader is going, we follow him 100%.
So if he plays second fiddle to Atiku Abubakar, for example, if he decides to become Atiku Abubakar's vice presidential candidate, they will follow him, will they?
At the moment now, there was no issue of probably being a second...
No, I'm asking you just a question.
We want an outright presidency candidate.
So the expectation from the Obidient is that he will be the presidential candidate.
Very much.
Whatever medium he decides to use as a platform.
They will go with him.
Right.
100%.
So, yeah, but what I'm saying is that they will do that only in the context of him saying, I will be the presidential candidate, or him emerging as the presidential candidate.
Charles, you've been investigative journalist.
No, I'm just asking.
I'm giving you a simple answer. I said anywhere. I didn't mix my word. I said anywhere he's going, the Obidient people will follow him.
Yeah, but I'm trying to be very clear on what you're saying.
Yes.
They will follow him.
Yes.
as long as he is the presidential candidate. If he becomes a vice presidential candidate, will they still follow him?
He has not even talked about anything.
But I'm asking you a question.
He's very clear about his intention, and they are clear on their words.
Yeah.
They want him to be the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And anywhere he wants to fly that particular flag, they will follow him 110%.
Right. And Mr. Obi has also said that 2027 might be his last attempt at running for president, suggesting that he might not be willing to pursue public office beyond the age of 65, which will be his age in 2027. How are the Obedients reacting to that? I mean, is that statement written in stone, or is it malleable?
That is the kind of statement you will not hear from a contemporary politician who always is interested in power at any cost. And that makes him different. He thinks about the youth. At this particular point in time, we must be growing our young ones. And those are his strengths. And he's giving them hope that, yes, you are capable. And he's concerned about them. That when it is time, some people should know when to quit, when it's time for them to quit. And give room for other persons. This is not said in any contest of any politician, but we are saying that going forward, we needed younger ones to take over the position so that the system can be able to bring in younger generation. You saw him having a meeting at the coffee shop, and he was talking to young Nigerians. And in that particular meeting, there was this particular saying. He said, look, I don't want to be where I am always loved. I want to see where there are people who say no to what I do. And then at that point, I'm learning from them. That is a very unique statement coming from a politician. And then he said it, and he said, even as we are gathering here, I will have somebody who may not even like me, and I would like to say, and everybody shouted, Obina, Obina. And Obina, he went to Obina, Obina, let me hear your grievances. And he learned from him. Obina also learned from him too. And today, they are best of friends. This is how to groom young politicians.
Okay.
And that is distinct from any politician in Nigeria.
Right.
Every politician in Nigeria wants to see somebody who will be his crony. I can teach you, I tell you what to do, sit, I sit. But this is not that kind of a politician.
Right. Okay.
It's somebody who is interested in building a younger generation for a prosperous nation that can move on in the next future.
We're almost out of time. You've been attending those opposition coalition meetings. Has there been any kind of falling out within that proposed coalition?
Not at all.
They're all sort of holding hands, are they?
You know, look, there is a mutual relationship and understanding. The northern part, who has the largest number of votes in this country, had a meeting, and then they invited southerners who are presidential hopeful and candidate to come and ventilate and align with them. That is unity in diversity. And the people that they were invited did not reject this offer. They went there in unison. That is building a Nigeria of our future. And Peter Obi went there and spoke to the people, tell them about how northern part can be emancipated from the high level of poverty, increasing their educational level, correcting the issue of insecurity, building trust within them, and saying that ABC, look, do not despair, do not be afraid. All of us are Nigeria, and we will build a country that all of us will be proud of.
Right.
That is the kind of energy that Peter Obi exposed.
I have to say that he got a lot of cheers when he was doing that, because I saw it.
Thank you so
much. I want
much.
to thank you very much indeed, Yunusa. I know you had a meeting, but you took time off to come and talk to us, and we appreciate it. Dr. Yunusa Tanko is the Interim National Coordinator of the Obidient Movement worldwide. Good
And
to
we
see
say
you again.
a new Nigeria is PO possible.
We certainly hope that it will be possible.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed.